Comics Plus, what is going on? My name is Akasan.
What's up, Super Crew? DC-san, good to see you.
Here we are. It's snowing tomorrow. That's it.
So not looking forward to that.
Yeah, very rare snow in Tokyo, but we're about to get snowed in tomorrow on the eve of doing that. But we still have time to come together for a very special season finale of the Book of Boba Fett. Hopefully,
Right.
hopefully, Boba Fett will actually show up this time. So
I think he will right before the credits roll.
well, it could always be the Luke Skywalker show again. And oh my God, what controversy among Star Wars fans. All the inner fighting, the fighting. I did not expect so many people to be at each other's throat over the weekend on the great Skywalker debate. Yeah.
Really? Because, if you look at any of the blogs and things for The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, it's just as bad.
But it's not even that. It's not even about that. The entire debate is about the usage of deepfake, the robotic voice of Luke Skywalker,
Over using
an actor. Yeah, and then in turn, also the idea of like having this story still be surrounded around Luke Skywalker after 55 years of this idea that Star Wars is supposed to be something more than just a Skywalker story.
Have they
but
not seen all the movies?
Right. Well, yeah,
Because all the movies focus on Skywalker, and this takes place during the same time.
But
period.
that's the whole idea. Is like, okay, well, the idea of like Disney Plus and or just the Mandalorian
and expanding within that universe,
Right.
being on other characters.
give them something more, and then also stop rehashing the same kind of, they call it nostalgia baiting.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this when Luke was carrying Grogu.
Yeah,
It's like,
and it's just like in Empire Strikes
right,
Back, where
it's
he's
like
training with Yoda.
so it's an interesting debate though, because I see on both sides about why somebody prefers the deep fake manipulated robot voice and everything, because nothing changes. But my thing about that is it doesn't look like Luke. It actually looks like Luke before Empire Strikes, before his accident.
Before his
everything.
accident,
Yeah.
because he looks
younger and smoother.
Yeah.
like,
It is. I can see how, if you've been following Star Wars, or if you are a fan of the originals, when you watch it, it can be a little jarring, because well, wait, this feels like you just mentioned, the Luke from
A New Hope.
5
Yeah,
years
yeah,
or 6 years before this situation happens. But I'm also like this. If they were able to use Mark Hamill's voice from the old outtakes and things like that, and basically repurpose it, cool. If they were able to get Mark Hamill to come in and do his own voice for his character, cool. If they can't do that, but we still get to see Luke in a small form and move on from there into the story with other characters, I'm okay with that. My issue is not so much about having Luke or not having Luke. Using the deep fake, it's fine. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to have glitches. You're going to have to expect it to throw people off. We were thrown off by a couple scenes, but it didn't ruin the episode for me.
Correct.
So it's like, okay, you got something that you wanted. It wasn't exactly what you were hoping for, but you did get it. Okay, move on.
Right.
Because otherwise, what will end up happening is become so toxic, then the studio's like, you know what, let's just stop. We're not going to do it. Then people complain, we don't get anything anymore.
Because I would say that's somewhat the argument about the
DCEU?
No, the Han Solo movie. The Solo movie is the fact that people wanted Harrison Ford, but it's like you can't have Harrison Ford. Like,
Right, and even when they didn't use Harrison Ford, that wasn't a problem. I think the biggest problem was that it came out way too soon.
Okay.
So after episode 7 had come out, and then they immediately released that, it's like, but we haven't had a chance to absorb the fact that he just died in the films. Now we're seeing him in his younger years, but it's like, but he just died, so it's like it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
So that's an issue.
I was checking the video right now. It looks like my thing is deep fake. My glitching too. My deep fake. Like, could you try harder? Yeah. Like try. Always get back up.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes some of those scenes, but it's funny though. But I also get that, because there's also the argument, because there's, believe it or not, there are still people out there that are down with the path that Luke. Well, also, besides people liking The Last Jedi and the story of Luke Skywalker, there's people in some parts of the internet that are feeling like this story is what's going to rewrite
that
the sequel trilogies, the sequel trilogy. And there's just something.
Well, that's what all these shows have somewhat been doing on a really low-key basis.
You think so?
It's how it feels. Because look at it. They're not relying on super heavy CG to explain the stories. It's more practical effects. Of course, they use CG and all that kind of stuff when it's necessary. But it's not relying on that. And a lot of the scenes and things that take place are more isolated. They're more centrally located. It's like, okay, this is happening here in this space. We're not jumping to several different planets, dealing with different things, and then going on these wild goose chases that don't lead anywhere, with the exception of that episode with the
Mandalorian. Right.
So that's fine. It seems like what they're doing is they're trying to slightly course correct by using these shows as outlets to go away from that and build off of it. So leaving that to the side, it's like, okay, whether you liked it or not, that was over here. We're no longer going to focus on that at all. The only thing that brings everything together, that links it, so in this case would be Luke.
Okay.
Because he's the only one within these TV shows that was there for, as far as main characters, that was in the sequel trilogy.
Well, I would say that would be more of a budgetary thing opposed to, like, I don't think that's them, like, kind of, like, course correcting the sequel trilogy, because they don't really touch on anything.
No, the only thing that happens in it, or that seems to be connected to, is Luke so far.
Right, so far, and we're gonna see at soon one point or another if they're ever going to get into the Ben Solo situation or not.
Right, I think that may actually depend on. And don't quote me, but it
Ahsoka's
may depend on
story.
I actually wasn't gonna say Ahsoka's story. I was gonna say Obi-Wan's.
Okay. Good question. I mean, that's a good point. I think that's a good example.
Depending on how it goes, because
I think you're right.
That original storyline is basically what ended up being the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Mandalorian taking the place of Obi-Wan.
Right.
Okay, fine. So if that show does well enough, maybe we'll have another Jedi-centric show. Otherwise, I feel like they're expanding to other characters outside of that realm, and then sprinkling a few different things of Jedi or Sith into it on the side.
I definitely don't think I could take a whole show of digital Luke like that. That would be really off-putting for me personally.
It wouldn't be off-putting for me if they took the time to do it and made sure that it just went smooth. Because this is actually, think about what we had last year
with the
and then here finale, it's a big leap forward.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
Give it a little more time, work out the tweaks and stuff, because it's also like, hey, they posted it, they get the audience's reaction to it, and then basically they're troubleshooting. It's like, what is it they liked, what is it they didn't like, then they go back and retool it.
We'll see.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, hopefully
just put them in the back to tank.
Hopefully we can actually talk about Boba Fett in the book of Boba Fett, because it's very similar to the Mandalorian. The one thing, and maybe it's because I don't really have a deep connection to the original trilogy or Luke Skywalker for that matter, that I feel very similar to the same way at the end of the Mandalorian season 2 was everybody was just talking about Luke and completely forgot like the entire story of the Mandalorian or Din Djarin. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, he was in there for 3 minutes and overshadowed, like, people were up there in tears over Luke Skywalker. And I understand. I get it. I get it. Too. I get it.
But it's also because part of what we were talking about a minute ago, you have a lot of people that were on the borderline or didn't like The Last Jedi. Right, they feel like this is closer to the interpretation of Luke that they either grew up with, or even if they didn't grow up with it, but they were introduced to the original trilogy series. Right. They like it more.
Which is fair, but I mean, to me, that's such a wild thought to have given the nostalgia baiting of, I get it why people will fall for it, because okay, that's the Luke I remember, right? Opposed to, but to kind of sit there and say like, okay, this Luke is going to be a different Luke than the one we got in The Last Jedi, I'm like, well, how much time has passed in between there? You know, people change, people grow, you know?
20 to 30
so
years.
it's like...
But that's also good because it leaves the door open for people to kind of interpret or read what happens in between that. So it's like you see the gap and say, oh, this is why he became like this. Or
Fair enough, yeah.
Because remember, biggest complaint for The Last Jedi was not so much that, okay, what they did with Luke wasn't quote unquote believable. It was the execution that fell so short. It made it unbelievable. Because the last time that we see him, he is the most hopeful person in the entire universe that we're exposed to. And he does a complete 180. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But why? And it was mainly because the execution was either cut short or just didn't flow well.
So basically, people really, what they need is a Revenge of the Sith story for Luke Skywalker to make sense. Because that's
you joke that, but that would make more sense. It's like, okay, this is why this happened, and the execution for it makes so much more sense. It makes sense
because it's like watching The Phantom Menace and then suddenly going to A New Hope or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you're like, wait, what happened to sweet Anakin?
Right. Annie. So that's where we get the acolyte from.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. 11 minutes. Like as I say every time, if it's always about Luke. It's always about a Skywalker. Let's get back into the book. Yes.
Yes. One small thing. Grogu.
The choice.
I think he's gonna choose the shirt.
Okay.
No, I think he's gonna choose the shirt, and then eventually circle back to, because it's like, even if he doesn't circle back to, it's like, why can't he be Mandalorian Jedi?
Okay.
Because the creator of the Darksaber was a Mandalorian Jedi.
Isn't that crazy, right?
Why can't you have another one?
Like,
no, that's not possible. It's like, but where's the Darksaber? You're no longer like the meme we were talking about in the chat. You're no longer Mandalorian, but he's got the Darksaber. Come on.
How can a leader of the Mandalorians not be a Mandalorian? It's like, okay. I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah, hopefully Grogu makes the right choice, whatever that may be.
Whatever choice he chooses, I think it'll be interesting because both paths seem interesting.
And we'll see if
if he does a completely different thing, he's like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out with Ahsoka.
Is he gonna pull a Luke Skywalker and just throw it over his head?
Dude, if he does that, I promise, I will make a promise to you guys. If he does that, I'm going to walk out.
Meh, like
that was just so disrespectful. It's like, what the hell? That's up there with dropping Pa Kent's photo into the water and just letting it dissolve.
I mean, to be honest, it is somewhat similar to that whole thing of like, okay, first you want me to choose between clothes that my adoptive father dropped off and some dead guys
or some old guy's utensils.
Some dead guy's lights utensil that somewhat looks like me. Yeah, like okay, dude.
Just like,
all right. Yeah. Well, let's get into it, guys. Full reaction is available on Patreon. You can get all. It's 60 minutes. It's gonna be long on this one, but hopefully it's gonna be strong.
A new show at the end credits.
I'm sure they will.
Because that's what happened at Mandalorian, right?
The legacy of Luke, is that what's gonna be happening next?
Dude, do you know why that would be cool? Because maybe we'll actually get to see. No, hear me out. Maybe we'll actually get to see Mara Jade and his kids. If they go with the Legends series, we'll actually get to see them, and it's not based on Luke. It's based on the kids, the offspring, and Jaina Solo is badass.
Yeah, because all Star Wars fans wouldn't complain about that.
All Star Wars fans would complain about something. Yeah. It's Star Wars.
Why are you focusing on Luke's kids? We want to see my hero is back.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Your latest reaction to the season finale of not Luke Skywalker, but the Book of Boba Fett. Starts now.
We must buy time until they arrive.
It is interesting that he just kind of walks around with his helmet off like that. Like,
is that so?
This is the way.
It is.
What up, Cad Bane? Let's go.
Yes. Good.
Ew.
I want this over as soon as
sexy.
Yes, we destroyed them ourselves.
Oh.
Does Fett know that? He has no idea. He thinks they were killed by Nikto speedbikers. Left evidence behind to encourage such a
It
conclusion.
was them. Oh, that's not good.
Indeed, you do.
His face is kind of weird sometimes.
I think I have an idea how to draw Boba Fett out.
How do they know
Know what?
that they're hiding in the ruins?
I have no idea. So.
Wonder who's watching.
I'm tripping over Cad Bane's face sometimes. It's like he's talking with his teeth, talking through his teeth sometimes.
Yeah, it looks strange also because he has no. Wait a second. That's Luke.
Oh. God, if Luke stays for this fight,
Oh, I'm gonna be so happy.
what if it's this R2-D2 pilot thing?
Oh, that's okay. The X-Wing is still there. That's what's important to me.
He piloted himself.
What's up, little man?
I am here.
Look who it is! Grogu?
Grogu's
Whoa,
adorable.
that's a terrible name. Pal. No way am I calling you that.
There you go.
Something shiny.
He's got their shirt on, man.
You must be starving.
Looks like Unagi.
Looks like I'm watching Gremlins.
There you go.
Don't feed him after midnight.
It's funny you say it because when he did this,
Yep.
it reminded me of Gizmo.
Yep. Did you know Mogwai means masturbation in Japanese?
I've heard that, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's for like, don't get it wet after midnight.
Oh, shit.
Cad Bane.
Oh, shit.
Cad Bane.
Reunion time.
You mean the one that massacred your Tuscan family and blamed it on a speed bike?
Oh, shit.
to get him out of his...
Yeah, comfort zone and get him angry.
Yeah.
I can take him.
You're emotional.
Yeah.
I can take him.
You gonna put another dent in your head?
You're going soft in your old age.
We all do.
Oh, shit. No.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the mods, but...
So Star Wars version of the Red Wedding, huh?
Yo.
You think Ahsoka or Luke is showing up towards the end?
I
Ooh.
hope not.
Wow. Two sides of ham.
Green eggs and ham.
Damn, that's messed up.
What? No!
Don't you?
Don't take out Black! You know, should be funny if Grogu shows up at the 12th hour just like,
You joke, but kind of expected.
and then nothing can stop me. Oh God, I just realized Grogu might roll in with the Naboo fighter and be like, now this is pod racing. Or R2-D2 could be.
That I can see.
I gave you my word. I'm with you until we both fall.
Nice.
Buy into that bent of thought.
Ha!
I do. You sure you want to stay? This is the way.
I was educated on Coruscant. Not that that makes me better in any way. If you would feel confident empowering me to negotiate on your behalf, I'm fairly certain we would be granted passage. His words.
There you go. Nice.
Finally uses the jetpack.
Oh, dude. Damn. It's like an arcade game, dude.
I'm loving this. You
Hey,
know
come
what
on.
this is?
Give us a few more shots, like
This
spinning
is
shots.
This is Battlefront. Battlefront 2.
Okay. I was going to say Desperado.
Use them knees. There you
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yep.
Nice.
I knew it was like, yeah, it's like Desperado, basically. Yep. Woo!
He's like, what's that?
Knee shot. Sweet.
Nice.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. Oh shit. Oh shit. Nah, you know Freetown showing up. Or
Too
not.
soon.
Whoa,
Too soon.
whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. Freetown in the house. Yep.
You were right.
People of Freetown.
Oh, that one coming.
Awesome. Wait, what the fuck is that?
The
Oh,
Rancor.
yeah, there you go.
No.
There you go.
Oh, BK, bro.
Nice.
Yes, it is big enough.
Bro, don't you got like a Rancor on speed dial or something?
Right.
Like.
At first, that's what I thought it was.
Right.
And then I was like, well, wait, no one
Nah,
can
that's
actually
gotta
control it but
come out.
him.
Right. Oh, no. Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, nice. That's even worse.
Where's my X-Wing? Maybe?
Oh, shit.
No.
Well, you really thought you did something there?
He was like, really, bro?
Right? Right?
We need reinforcements. From where? You've run out of friends. Protect the others.
Your ship. And you have yours, man.
Nah, he went to go get the Rancor.
Split up, people. His foot
Oh,
healed
man.
fast.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you're moving pretty fast here, bro.
What was that unnecessary spend for?
Not right.
It's like, you don't hear all that gunfire?
Right.
That's
What was up
sheer
with that
luck.
Flintstones car, though? That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, what are you doing here? Oh,
Aww.
okay, guy. I'm happy to see you too. I didn't know when I'd see you again.
Not right now.
We're in a bit of a bind here right now.
Come on. Do the math. There you go. There's your Rancor.
Rancor. But
Okay,
I feel
I guess
sorry
it-
for that lady. She lost a tooth.
Yeah.
Hiding behind a basket wouldn't help you.
Cloverfield.
Right?
Nah. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Don't tell me you're going to lose your Rancor. There you go. There you go.
That looked painful.
So predictable.
He's about to use the Force and crush it. Because that would be awesome.
I mean, in the extent of the training we saw with Luke, that's all he really did was crush the robots. Wait, what? Ah! I mean, to be fair, it would have been a little overpowered if he was able to just crush the whole thing, dude.
Yes, but no. Because remember, he had years of training beforehand.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Do it.
Oh, shit. What?
I'm like, the Rancor couldn't pick up a piece of building and
Wait,
hit him with
what?
it?
I'm not a little boy any longer.
Ooh, nice
You are
callback.
an old man.
Consider this my final lesson.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
The Tuscans.
that's kind of cool.
Nice.
I knew you were a killer.
Oh! Oh!
Oh shit.
Did not
Okay, yeah, I didn't. I
expect to see
wasn't
that.
expecting that. Yeah.
He was like, y'all want to see Boba come back? I'm thinking I'm back. John Boba.
What in the King Kong is
Right?
Come on, big guy. The sun is going down. The sun is going down. Big.
So calm down. Have a nap.
Yep.
Thought so. He's going nowhere fast.
Oh shit! Nice. Yeah, hang him.
Thank you.
Nice little remix of his theme.
We are not suited for this.
Wait, who's using it then? The Baka tank. The Rancor.
Go back to no, probably Din.
I guess. So,
So the Wookiee gets a melon a week.
That's why they got his music playing in the background.
Are you really about to close out on The Mandalorian instead? Like, yeah. Thanks for the detour. We'll be back with season 3.
He wants to go fast.
I knew it. Robert Rodriguez directed it. No wonder it looked like Desperado.
So funny.
Oh, so who's using it? Cad Bane? Oh,
No.
the
Cop
Marshal.
Yeah.
Thunder.
Thundercats.
Yeah. You're modding him, really?
But why?
For a shoulder wound? What?
I don't know.
What? Now, look, if he got hit in the gut, like Phoenix did, then I'd be like, all right, kind of.
He
But
got hit in the arm, so like, we're just gonna give you a new arm, give him cybernetic implants, so he's faster.
I
don't know.
guess so. It'll be like the Robo, like the fastest cyborg on the fastest modded guy,
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
right? Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I
I
couldn't
guess. All right, guys. So there you have it. That is the season finale of the Book of Boba. You know, it was cool. It was better than I thought it was gonna be with the track record. The track record that a lot of the Disney Plus shows have for season finales is not great.
Whatever do you mean?
So for me, this one worked well, and you know, I guess going in track with theme of things. I wasn't expecting much from the Book of Boba Fett, so for the
So you
season,
weren't really disappointed. at the same
exactly,
time.
yeah. So that's the thing, like, you know, when it comes to them, the Marvel shows is a whole different sort
Yeah,
of
because they have that
situation.
connective tissue of the universe
Exactly.
going on in story.
But I basically have kind of given up on any of the Disney Plus shows, the Marvel Disney Plus shows, having that big stinger that it needs to. In fact, some of the Marvel movies themselves have not really had any sort of like big stingers or end credits like that. But you know, the Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, all of that, it was interesting. It's interesting because I feel like now see that would have been a cool little stinger if
Book of Mando.
no.
Or,
If you saw,
leading into-
if you just saw like, you know, Disney wants to spend all this money on deepfakes and things like that. Why don't they spend some money on getting somebody that looks like Mr. Morrison, but a female version?
Oh, you mean
Omega.
Omega?
Yeah.
Which is funny you say, because it's like I almost felt like we might see a hint of her somewhere, but I'm also glad we didn't, because the series is too short to introduce her now.
No, but all I'm
Unless
saying,
it was like introducing her because we're going to deal with her story somewhere else.
I'm just saying that would have been like that, like in terms of stingers or like little end credits that may not go anywhere, may go somewhere. That would have been a cool little
that
thing
would've
to
been
target. Like just like you just see her somewhere. I'm assuming the Bad Batch at this point would still be old. They'd be old men if they're alive, right?
Yeah. So if we don't see anything happen with her character in the next season of
Right.
Bad Batch, my guess would be she shows up somewhere along the lines with Ahsoka and Sabine.
Okay. Now the only thing, one of the things I'm sure maybe they did kind of talk about that, but I guess the biggest thing is that has to be very carefully done, because the question is, what would you do? Are you going to have to make a computer generated version
Of her?
or are you going to have to do some really hard casting to find somebody, because they're literally clones of each other, so they have to have a really strong semblance.
Well, they have to have some similarity to him. I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult to find someone.
They're gonna put
kinda
Morrison
like
in a blonde wig.
Stranger things have happened.
They're gonna put him in a blonde wig and then do the age reduction or something.
I mean,
I'm
he
just
is an
saying.
actor. I mean, if
I'm
he could
just
pull it
saying.
off, like, cool. But I mean, that, or they could go the route of, you know, she got injured during some conflict or whatever, and changed her appearance because all the clones were being hunted.
Okay.
It's like, oh, okay. It's like, That's kind of weird, but all right, whatever.
That it'd just be an interesting thing.
It would.
I'm like, okay, but outside of that, you know, I thought this was an interesting
Nod to cinema, because it felt like subtle nods to cinema, classic cinema, up all the way through the entire episode, even to, you know, being very on the nose. The kaiju battle, having King Kong Rancor standing on buildings, stuff.
Desperado,
that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's Desperado.
High Noon. They definitely took a nod toward
Unforgiven.
High Noon.
It's kind of what it reminded me of.
Unforgiven was last episode, more or less. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the Good, Bad, and Ugly, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good, Bad, and Ugly was straight up.
As far as having a family being used against the main character. Because
okay. Oh, got it.
Misdirecting.
Got it. Which, you know, which is why, like, you know.
But I did like watching
Phoenix?
Din. And no. I always like watching Fennec, but Din and Boba fighting together.
That was
kind of cool.
That was really cool.
That reminded me a lot of Desperado.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because that.
That's so cool.
If I recall, that's exactly what happened. Because with Desperado, he called Antonio Banderas calls back his band, and they all came in right around the same time when everything looked bad. They all came in and they came in doing all this, dude. Yeah.
He did a split.
Yeah.
Shot his rocket launcher.
Yeah.
The other one had, what was it, Uzis or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
The whole band came back together, so that was kind of cool to see something like that. You know, but I do feel like it was one of those things. Like towards the end, they realized that it wasn't really as impactful as they were hoping for. So then they decided to kind of turn it into the Mandalorian 2.5 season or something like that, because you did notice that they spent a lot of time still on Din Djarin, and Grogu had to have his moments in there, and it's just interesting to see, because if you've never watched The Mandalorian, if you were just kind of being like a purist or whatever, you'd be so like, what is this Baby Yoda doing here? But
yeah, but I think that's also why when Grogu showed up and she's talking to R2, she's like, what, Grogu? Oh my goodness, I'm calling you about that, because that's for the people who may not have watched, and it's like, well, who is this character? He looks like Yoda. No, he's Grogu. But something that I'll say for this, I like that we got more Boba.
Yes.
We got some Din. It does feel like they're like, hey, look, now we got them together, they're working together. Boba came in and did his little cameo for the episode or whatever in The Mandalorian. Now you got it in the opposite direction for Din. Now Din and Grogu fly off. The idea of Luke showing up, even though I joke about it during the watch, Luke showing up would be more of the same problem that we were talking about before, where it would overshadow everybody else. And it would deter Grogu from growth in the show, because the show is actually not about him and not about Din, not about Boba. Not having Ahsoka there, same thing, which is also good. It would have been cool to see them, but I'm also very happy that I didn't, because that same conflict. Fennec disappearing and being gone through the whole battle, I was like, yo, what's up? But then when they show her basically go to take out the heads, it's like, okay. So Boba's like, look, we're going to have this all-out battle, but this is something that has to be done. And I can't be in two places at once.
Good point.
And you're the only person that I trust, because you're my right-hand person. So I need you to take care of this while we take care of these things over here. Now, Boba not showing up while Din is fighting with the Rancor really threw me off, because it was like, he wasn't that far. I mean, the Rancor is huge and he can climb, but it's not like he's jumping over 10, 20 blocks at a time. So, like, what happened? That threw me off a little bit, but it is what it is. They needed to give him some time by himself.
And they needed to give some sort of, I guess, narrative story of how, okay, well, even though his training with Luke was short, he did learn
his memories
something.
His suppressed memories were unlocked. He did remember stuff. One of the issues, like, why suddenly did people start shooting at the Rancor?
Thank you, right? Why didn't they just let it
it's rampage and stuff like that? Okay,
if nobody saw the Rancor just save their ass, like, then I'd be like, okay. But suddenly you're like, why?
Yeah, it's like 5 blocks back. He saved you, but now you're like, he passed the market.
You let that thing run. I mean, not to, but at the same time, this whole thing about just Cad Bane being able to wear it off with the fire in to begin with was like already,
yeah.
So
it irritated him, so it made him angry. Okay, so basically we're looking at him as being similar to the Hulk.
Now, if
he's frustrated and he's rampaging out. Cool.
Now, okay, if I get it now, if he was blinded, then that would make a lot more sense.
Right.
If he was temporary, like if his eyes were like
temporary blinded or whatever,
and he's just going like
everywhere.
ape shit. Yeah. Then that totally makes sense, but that shit just did not make sense for it. Whoa, I'm out of here now.
Yeah.
Now
that was a bit weird.
This is if there is anything, and it's a slight nitpick, but I also think it's kind of important. Here's the thing, Cad Bane, one of the best moments, like outside of the Luke thing, for me the biggest moment in the previous episode was Cad Bane showing up.
Well, yeah. He's just deadly badass.
But he's a fan favorite, but only if you've watched the Clone Wars animated series.
Right.
But technically speaking, if you've never watched the Clone Wars series, this dude literally showed up to die the next episode. Yeah. Which kind of sucks. Now,
it does, but it's also good because he is something that frustrated...
Over 100 years old?
Yeah, he's old, but something that frustrated a lot of viewers before for Clone Wars and so forth. It's like, how is it that he keeps escaping everything? Not just Jedi, but everything. It's like he just won't die. And it's also one of the things that's kind of cool about his character because he's a survivor.
Right.
But for him to die like that was rough.
But
also, it feels like I'm torn. Part of it he deserved, and part of it I feel like his boss should have caught some of that.
Oh yeah. But my issue here is the fact that.
But I'm okay with it.
Well, my issue here is the fact that because of what I know about the Clone Wars, and not even what aired, what we keep on talking about it, because most hardcore fans, we all know that there were 4 or 5 episodes that were cut out because the Clone Wars got canceled. And but one of those stories was actually Daniel Logan voicing young Boba Fett, and Cad Bane was working with him, and some of those episodes actually did air, if I recall.
Yeah, some episodes eventually did get aired.
But eventually down the line, young Boba Fett and Cad Bane have a standoff, and that's why Boba Fett has the dent in his head.
Yeah,
and so I'm a little torn because I feel like all that time we spent on Din Djarin, Luke Skywalker, all of that, all those flashbacks that
set up his story.
Boba Fett was having with these Tuskens. They even cleverly put in scenes from the actual live action Clone Wars movie with young Daniel Logan. I just felt like if they could have creatively had some other
like
flashes,
dialogue or flashes of
something
what happened
like
during
that.
point.
Exactly. Like
so, basically, the episodes that got canceled, the main parts of that, the bulk of it is like, hey, look, this confrontation between these two.
Right.
Why not have that in a flashback somewhere?
Exactly. So therefore,
when you see him, there's more of a payoff.
So there's more of a full circle situation. If you're literally killing Cad Bane, his first live action appearance in the episode previously,
you should introduce him earlier than that,
or at least give him some sort of
exactly
like that, because the only moment and the only indication that you have that they actually do have a long and deep relationship was in that one, in that one line. That's it. I've known you for a long time, Boba. You have?
Well, actually, the last episode, because he tells Cobb before shooting him that he's a merciless killer. So they have some type of history?
Yeah, but that's like...
But I get what you mean.
To have that whole symbolism there, and he's like, okay, I've always wondered, I'm still faster than you. Okay, let's try. It's great, but I wish there was more context that was actually explored somehow without spoiling his appearance.
There should have been more of a setup for his character, like introducing him earlier in the season. Maybe that scene with him and Cobb happens, whatever, where he has a conversation with someone in the bar, whatever. You show him, somewhat showcase him, and or Boba has that flashback of when that happened, and it's something that kind of
like
still bothers him a bit.
Something like that, like
and then tied in.
It's weird because you see like they definitely went the Arrow, Lian Yu type flashback route. You think they would have built up with that a little bit better. Now this one's a very kind of nitpick, but the problem with the last 2 episodes of previously being so non-Boba related is that, and I was worried about this, it lessens the point of
Boba's story.
This final battle situation where it's like, oh yeah, that's right. There's something like serious was on the line.
There's a war going on.
Right, there's a war going on.
Right.
Oh yeah, Black Crescent, he's up here fighting, but do I really feel like I care anymore at this point? I don't know. And then particularly the biggest issue I have is the whole Tusken Raider thing. Like,
why is it coming up now?
We know why. Narratively, we know why it's coming up, but I also felt like we got so detracted because those were some really good scenes. Him growing up with the Tusken Raiders, but then jumping for essentially 2 to 3 weeks. They didn't even go back to that sort of point.
No.
And
we didn't touch base on the Tusken Raiders at all after that.
Yep.
The last thing that was said was basically they were wiped out by the biker gang.
Yep.
And Fennec was like, I don't think so. That
Right.
wouldn't be possible. And she's not saying that because they're bad people, but because they're supposed to be really, really badass. So some biker gang taking them out does make sense.
So I personally feel like I don't know if this was a Disney thing or something, but they should have shown the dead kid. They should have made it really clear because
I'm glad they didn't, because they avoided backlash from people. Because as horrible as it sounds, think about it. When Anakin took out the youngling and stuff like that, they didn't really show it.
Right.
Because that's a situation we have to deal with. You can have people getting shot up and maimed and stuff like that in Star Wars, but because they're aliens.
But I get that. But at the same time, Anakin confirmed it in our heads when he said he killed them all, even the women and children.
But he did it with dialogue.
But that's enough.
But they did, yeah.
Right.
But they show.
Like,
you mean addressing that?
Right.
The kids were killed too.
Right.
And saying
because
it
I was always under the impression that the female Tusken survived and the child survived, because we didn't see them, we didn't see any indication. The only bodies that we saw were like the chief council, and I'm like, okay, damn. Like, nah, because nobody was taking that seriously enough. Like
so
that.
Didn't they show her?
No.
Like the child, I
no,
don't remember.
They showed the other
weapons.
lieutenant kind of dude. Like, they never, as far as because I've been saying it. I'm like, okay, well, down the line, the remaining Tusken, I call her Junkyard Kylo Ren, she's gonna show up, and nobody's corrected me like, oh no, she dead. And so I've never felt like a strong impact for. I felt bad that some of his tribe was wiped out.
They wiped out the tribe. Wow,
but they didn't try to wipe out the entire tribe, because they spent so much time focusing on the whole stick and like that. I honestly thought that
someone survived.
They were gonna come back. So it's just kind of,
never know. Maybe they did, because we're finding out stuff that happened on Tatooine that some of us didn't know about, like having the mod squad, and some of the factions and stuff that are still around. Well, maybe not anymore.
I don't know. It kind of lessened the impact when Cad Bane when the whole thing was like, a setup. I'm like, oh wait. Oh, they dead. All of them are dead. Yeah. Okay.
That, and it's like, I'm looking at this and it's like, okay, so are we dealing with this section of the factions being wiped out and everything is okay, or is there going to be some backlash?
I don't know.
Because usually there's some type of backlash because someone wants to take that spot, right?
Right.
So it's like, okay, if that's the case, are we going to be dealing with Black Sun Group or anybody else, or are we looking at a rebuilding stage and Boba's character evolving into something else from here?
Yeah, I seriously hope he becomes a little more ruthless, actually, and
everyone does.
Right.
Everyone does.
And that kind of sucked that Fennec kind of took all of them out. I was like, wait.
Yeah, Fennec basically was like, okay, well, I'll do it for you. You hand this stuff over there. I'll do the killing for you, because and I'm mixed on it because it's like, I like that they gave her something to do, but also it's one of those just like I felt like they double crossed him because he
Exactly.
gave
That,
them
exactly.
his word.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's like have him do it
And you know, if Phoenix gonna be the one to do all that,
respectfully.
yeah, if Phoenix gonna be the one to do all that, then at least she should be up there and be like, Boba Fett sends his regards or some shit like that. You know, like
You give some one
something like yo, because it's like even with him killing Cad Bane, it didn't even look like anybody was there to witness it, like type of deal, because that was supposed
they're
to.
all shooting the Rancor.
But that right, but that was supposed to kind of be his like
His
establishment,
moment kind of
his moment as like I'm gonna be the leader. I've changed. I'm not just a bounty hunter anymore.
Right.
Gah!
Yeah, like
but
his
nobody
character
even
has
see-
evolved and is deeper now. I'm like this. You know when the Rancor was there, and they're all standing around, like you had the two guys squatting behind baskets, and I'm like, really, you didn't go inside? So maybe they were still behind the baskets watching everything happen.
And again, for the record, guys, so you're not bitching. This is just nitpicking. Like I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. You know, it's not like the previous episodes, the last two episodes were a lot more on the hype moments. But you know, for a season finale, I think it worked out well. For what I consider is just a side story of the Mandalorian,
It
worked out fine.
Episodes 1, 2, and 3, and 5, 6, and 7 were the better episodes of this show.
Okay.
Yeah, the episode that had the
Like a bantha.
the chase.
I liked
that's,
it.
I think that's.
Oh,
I think,
that no, not
I
that
think
one. Yeah.
Most people were like, whatever. But the first 3 episodes and the last 3 episodes felt the strongest.
Okay.
Story wise.
Yeah.
Action wise, 5, 6, probably the best ones. Well, 5 best ones for action, and then this one.
It'll be very
5 and
interesting.
7,
It'll
yeah.
be very interesting to see how he establishes. Like, I'm still. Part of me is also wondering if, as cool as it was to kind of get things going, I'm also wondering if bringing in the twins was a little too early, because I kind of would have thought it might have been better to save the twins for later, like
After he takes over.
Exactly, because then that could have been the stinger as well, like that. Because they kind of came in, like I've noticed a lot of this with the writing for this particular show. A lot of people came in and then they just bounce, and you don't see them for a few episodes or so, and then they're just like, all right, well, I'm out. It's like, okay,
like, well, I filled my contractual agreement, so we're good.
You know, even the Rancor trainer, you know,
Danny Trejo.
Danny, yeah. You know, he was in for a minute and he had his little cameo. So, but you know, it's all right. There's a lot. If you really go back, there's a lot of people that had their moment.
Train him more, so I guess he trained him on the side, off screen, as they say.
A little bit. I mean, he was there for the beginning, I guess. I don't know. Like it's interesting. You would have thought like there was a lot of. It's nitpicks.
Their choice of not fighting inside, I think, was also kind of good, because it made it more dynamic.
True.
Because being inside, it's like the Rancor doesn't have much to do.
True.
It's also very dark, and with all the dynamic of the people and trying to separate the distance, stuff like that, it was smart to keep it outside.
So, you know,
but those walls were super strong.
Nah, you know, obviously they can't do it for Disney, but it would have been dope if they did do a Tywin Lannister type of deal, and they just hanged all the heads of those people that betrayed them.
Pikes?
No, not even just the Pikes, but that entire group just would have been dope. They only did it to the mayor, but oh my god, that would have been so boss. But whatever. Like, I got a darker image of Star Wars in my mind, but you know, it is what it is. All right, well, I guess that's it, guys, for Star Wars for quite some time. I can't imagine I guess the next thing is Andor. Yeah, I guess Andor's next.
Andor's what?
I don't know.
In May or something? But what about the Acolyte?
The what?
Acolyte. I guess it's not until next year. Acolyte is basically the show based on
the Sith? Yeah, the Law of Two, right? The Rule of Two, or something like that.
I guess it's what, next year or something.
I don't know. Yeah,
maybe it's a good healthy break.
Yeah, they make so many announcements that I just don't care, because it's like, at least unlike
Yeah,
Warner
there's a
Brothers, when Disney makes an announcement, generally speaking, they stick to it, and
Right.
it will be coming sooner than later.
Right.
But it's just like the whole Star Wars story of the books that they're writing. When Yoda's
High
like,
Republic.
yeah, the teenager Yoda or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so they make the announcement, but it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to keep it in my head because it's just like, let us know when it comes out. It comes out.
Right.
It's fine, and I'm fine with that. I know a lot of people are fine with this kind of direction. You know, I personally kind of like the more or less the idea of the bounty hunting situation. It would have been nice to have seen Din Djarin on his own, but you know, I also get that it's a popular thing to have Grogu around. So
You gotta have something cute. I mean, every show has like
oh
a
boy,
sidekick,
the
a pet or
Grogu,
something
Groot,
like that.
yeah, the little
Yeah.
rocket. You know, it's
Because
like,
he's got to have his side missions. You know, he's Omega basically. No, really, because look,
No, you're right. No, you're
the
right.
Bad
You're
Batch,
right.
the
You're
way they
right.
are, they're hardcore, and then
You're
you have
right.
Omega on the side. to
every
soften it
Disney
up.
has, every Disney product has a little cutesy thing on the side. Well, Red Nation, stand up, speak up. Let us know what you guys thought about this situation.
I enjoyed it.
You can probably talk with DC Sun on his very own Twitch channel as well.
Right, I
You
will be
can-
setting up another live Twitch stream, and we can discuss more of the show and what you'll be looking forward to seeing next within the Star Wars universe and or the Marvel universe. Because the next one is.
Yeah. It's about a month.
That's a month.
A little more than a month from now.
And Superman and Lois, which is taking a 2-week break.
And we're also going to be watching the Everyone is Dead, or All of Us Are Dead.
Yes,
We did the first episode, but we're going to try to watch the next episode as soon as possible. And we shall take it from there, okay? Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. Full reaction is available on Patreon.
Thank you guys so much for your support.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.
This is the way.